Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to take you through the different types or categories of issues that you face when you're running a project. Let's get into the details. My name is Oscar Mbira. I'm a certified program and project manager. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button so that you are the first person to be notified. Practicing project manager, or you have just been appointed to do a project and you want to understand what type of issues are you going to have when you're running your project. So this is what we're going to look into in this particular section of the video. So the first thing you have to look at, so let's say 10 types of issues for project management. Okay, so we're going to look into the 10 types of project management that we have to consider. So the first one we are going to look at is called scope creep. This is very, very important. As you run a project, you always come across scope creep. What do you mean by scope creep? These are additional changes or requirements coming to the project that were not part of the original lists. So how does it affect the project? You are going to have additional cost, if not budget. Okay, and also timelines are going to be affected. So timelines, they are also going to be affected, even quality. So quality of project, okay, and even deliverables. So this is very important. The type of issues you are going to get mostly is a scope creep. So once your scope creep is also affecting the project, the issues that are going to have is to do with budget. Your budget is going to increase. Your timelines, they are also going to increase. Your quality of the project is also going to be affected because you now have more requirements. Probably you had not budgeted for resources. So you might end up having what is called resource overload. Okay. So this is one type of issues you are going to face as a project manager in running your project. So let's move on to the next one. The next one, it looks into communication. So we are talking of communication breakdown. Okay. So what do we mean by communication breakdown? Most projects are now run in different cultural environment or in a multicultural environment where probably the communication language, it's not natural to all the members. So at the end of the day, you face issues to do with communication breakdown. So what causes this? This is caused by cultural differences. Okay. So cultural differences can also cause a lot of issues. Cultural activities can also affect the project. You want an activity to be done, but due to different cultural issues, you'll find that your communication is not very clear. Also, you end up having inappropriate communication, okay? So this affects your mode of communication. These are some of the issues you're going to face. For some, emo is workable. And for some, you'll find just documentation is workable. And for others, you find it's only verbal. Okay, this is the type of issue you're going to have in terms of communication. The third one we're going to look at is on resource constraints. So you have, we have resource constraints. This is also another category of issues that you are going to face. It could be human resource, it could be non-human resource. For example, we can talk of equipment. You're going to have issues to be recorded on equipment. Resource constraints, we are not talking only about human resources, we are also talking about non-human resources. This includes equipment also, okay? It can be caused by underestimation also. Underestimation of work can cause resource overload, resource constraints in terms of numbers, in terms of value. It can also cause that problem. So you have a category on resource constraints also, and also you might have natural attritions if it's human resources. Natural attrition. So in a project, you can also lose your main key players, and that can also affect your project, and is one of the categories of the types of issues that we have. So the fourth one that we are going to look at, it could be technical challenges. So as you work through the project, you always face some technical issues. So what do you mean by technical issues? You might have issues to do with compatibility, especially those who work with software. It could be even something to do with software or hardware, It could be something to do with old technology. You also have issues there. So this category is on the technical side. You have issues that you're going to come across due to scope creep. You also have issues to do with communication breakdown, and also issues to do with resource constraints, and then technical issues. So let's move on to the next set of categories or types of issues that you face as a project manager. So we continue. So continued. So number 5, we are going to talk about external factors. So what do we mean by external factors? We are talking of a number of issues. Number 1, it could be natural disasters. It could be health, global health issues. We all know about the impact of COVID in the recent past. So it could be global health issues. Okay. These are also part of the external. It could be regulatory. Regulatory issues. There are economic issues. Okay. So let's look into number 6. Okay. So on number 6, we are looking at what is called team conflicts. As a project manager, this is one of the main challenges you're going to face. You have most of your issues also in this category. So what do you mean by that? You might have a role ambiguity. This has to be very clear. You can even have personality clashes among the members. This is very common, especially in a multicultural environment. Okay? Okay. So, number 7, we have what is called quality issues. As a project manager, you always face quality issues. What do we mean by that? These could be errors in product delivery, okay. This could be compatibility issue also. It affects the quality. It could be defects. They also affect the quality. So this is quite important. Number 8, okay, we also have what is called schedule slippage. So in this, what do we mean by that? We have missed timelines. Okay. You can even have reduced team morale. If you have got issues with schedule slippages, reduced team morale. All right. Also, customer dissatisfaction. You have customer dissatisfaction, and also you might have missed opportunities because of slippages in the projects. Okay, so let's recap on these particular lists. External factors, we have external factors. For example, natural disasters. They can happen, they can affect your project, you record them as issues. The same applies to health issues, which can stop the project from ongoing, therefore you have to record the issues. Regulatory issues, also you come across them, and then even economic issues that can affect the project. No matter what type of project you're running in or the industry, you always face some of these categories of issues. So the other one is team conflicts. Nowadays, most teams, they are working from different locations and from different cultures, different countries. That can also lead into some conflict. Conflict can also come in because of role ambiguity. So the roles of each and every team member must be very clear for them to work together. Then we have personality clashes. Teams, they always have personality clashes. As a project manager, these are some of the items. You need to make sure that you record them, you manage them, and resolve some of them. Then the other one is the quality of issues. Quality issues. Quality issues, we are talking of errors. You might have a project which is creating a product or service. It might have errors or compatibility issue. Whatever is being produced as deliverables within projects, they might fail to work together. So that will create issues also. Then you might also have defects coming from the product or the deliverables in the project. You can also have defects. And then schedule slippage. Once you have this schedule slippage, you have issues on the timelines, you have issues on the costs, demotivated or demoralized team also, and also customer dissatisfaction. The last one is on the opportunity cost. As you slip further into the future, you face these challenges. So let's move on to the last two items. Continuing from the last, so continue here. So number 9 that we have is what is called stakeholder issues. Stakeholder issues. This is to do with any interested party in the project. This could be your customers, it could be your suppliers, it could be regulatory or government or local authority. Okay, so what do we mean by this? You'll find that the most common stakeholder issues you are going to face is going to include competing priorities from stakeholders. going to have competing priorities, or it could be communication breakdown also. Okay, communication breakdown. It could be lack of participation from stakeholders. Okay. You can have a lack of participation from stakeholders. The next one we're going to look into is also called changing requirements. We have issues with this. Changing requirements from stakeholders. So you face this category of issues. So let's look into the last category of these issues. So the last one we're going to look at is risk management failures. You have issues in this category. Okay. So what do we mean by this? We are going to have lack of mitigation methods or strategies. Lack of mitigation. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button so that you are the first person to be notified. Contingents and planning. Also, inadequate contingent planning for the risks. Okay. Also, this is very important. You also lack risk control and monitoring. Lack of risk control and monitoring. Okay, so stakeholder issues, they're going to be part of the project management issues and also the risk issues. We've reached the end of this video.